I just wanted to make you a quick video because I was thinking a lot of people might need or want some advice about how to work in class in the most effective way. Because online class can be a lot different. You just sort of have all the material here to go to, but might not be thinking about what's the best way to go through it. So I thought I could spend some time, give you a few tips, and maybe help some people out. So Monday morning is, I guess, when I have in mind for this. The first thing you're going to want to do in class a new week is come in. You start at the announcements page, so scroll down. You can see these standard announcements here. This part changes every week, so this is sort of where I'm going to be doing a lot of extra communicating with you. This is sort of standard stuff that you might need at any time, like the redo policy, extra information, welcome letter, but this is more specific to the week, so you might be more interested in that. You can link your goals, see what you're supposed to be learning in the unit that you're going to be in, because that's going to be important. If you want to get to know me a little bit better, give you a little bit of facts about myself. Again, I might tell you a little bit more about myself over here. This is sort of the area that I have free and open to talk to you about what's going on, maybe any hurdles that are coming up in the week, anything you need to know about. Maybe I'm going out of town for a conference or something along the lines of that. I'd put that in here. Here I have a note about the phone. Oop, and now I'm scrolling out of there. Here I have a note about my phone that was important to know last week. We have some motivation, so read the quote, get pumped up, think about all the great stuff you want to accomplish. Focus on your goals again, because I know it can get hard after week of school to sort of keep in mind the end and what you want to be doing. I'll always give you a little bit more information here, something fun, something not specifically about class. I have some contact information down here that can help you out. And then this is really the key, I feel, of the announcements, because here we have our pacing guides. You can open this up and look at the full pacing guide. Maybe you're behind the pace of class. Maybe you're looking to work ahead because you're going on a vacation and won't be around. So you can see the whole thing. Or if we just scroll down here, you can look up what you're supposed to do this week by your end date. So let's just take a look at week 5. And then here we have everything we're supposed to do. So you can compare this to where you're at in class. Hopefully you've already done everything in week 4. You've already made it through the ICBNS DBA. So you know exactly what you're supposed to do. And you can start working your way through it. You can sort of plan out in your mind, okay, I know I have this much stuff. I know I have 5 days to do it, so I'm going to want to, I'll run through everything through maybe 4.1 today. Then I can work on that assignment tomorrow and schedule your week out. So this is all important for the start of the week. That way you can figure out what your workflow is. And let's say you're going away because you have marching band competition or a game to play in, and you only have 4 days. You can sort of figure that into your schedule too. Okay, what do I need to do to split this up into 4 so that my workload is very manageable? Then we can jump up here. Let's say that you happen to be in unit, well, maybe I should check. You're in unit 4, it looks like. So we jump into unit 4, and I forgot exactly what was in that pacing guide, but let's say you're in unit 4.2, and this launches, and let's say you've made it all the way up through this, Übung 1, and you've done everything here. So here's going to be another suggestion. Instead of just starting up with Übung 2 and going through there, go back, take a look at Fangen wir an, take a look at the Wegweiser, not a bad idea. Take a look at the vocabulary list, skim through it, say, do I remember that word? Do I remember that word? Do I remember that word? And this is the whole thing. There's just one page, at least with this vocabulary list, maybe about a dozen words or so, maybe 20. So go review the vocabulary. This is where one spot you might want to pay attention to the differences. Where is it meine or where is it mine? Die Freundin on the end. Just those little things to help make your work sort of perfect. Take a look at the Schau genau again, Freundschaft, Liebe. And what this does is sort of like in an in-person class where you have the warm-up at the start of class, where your teacher maybe poses you some sort of question from the day before or talks a little bit about what you did yesterday, and sort of gets you back in the mindset, brings all those memories back from what you've done the day before. In German classes, when I teach them face to face, that's what I always start doing. I'll run over the vocabulary, or if we've done some new grammar the day before, I'll run over that. Maybe do it for 2 or 3 days after we first learn the grammar, because I find that refresher very important. Oh yeah, I remember that this exists. I remember how to do it. I've gone through all the rules again, so I'm sort of set for the hour. And you don't want to think about this as a waste of time, like, oh, I could just jump in, to Übung 2 and be done with this in 10 minutes and then be moved on and move past it. Because you're going to remember it not as well as if you went through this whole process I'm trying to outline for you. So you're going to end up running into other issues later, when you're back, say, working on the 4.2 quiz. You're going to have more trouble remembering it. When you're working on this assignment, you're going to have more trouble on it. You're going to be saying, oh, what was that word? Or I need to go look this up. Or, I'm going to have a lot more comments about your work, things that could be changed or improved, because you're not going to be remembering what was in the unit as well, because you just skimmed through it once, or maybe you did it once thoroughly, but you want to do it, the first time, go back in and review the next day as you're working through the unit, review what you did before, to keep everything up in your mind, to keep everything constant, to keep all the rules fresh in your mind, and that is going to help you remember a lot more, it's going to help you do a lot more, and help you do a lot better in class. So from here, on any regular day, after reviewing, and maybe 5 minutes, that's enough time. And that's not a lot of time, so that's not really getting in your way. Think about it like the old quote from Abraham Lincoln, where he said, if he was going to be given 3 hours to chop down a tree, he'd spend the first 2 sharpening his axe. That 5 minutes is your sharpening the axe time, bringing everything back, getting it in your mind, and because your axe is a lot sharper, doing the lessons, doing the new stuff, doing the work that builds off what you learned before is going to be a lot easier. Doing the assignments will be easier, so you're not going to be wasting time. You're working in a better way, where you're investing a little time at the start and saving time at the end in how you're doing your work. And there you go. Now, as you're finishing this unit, then you're going to checkpoint 3. You're reading through checkpoint 3. You have your self-reflection, and then you have, your assignment. What I would be doing as I'm finishing up each one of these lessons is, being sure that I'm taking a look at these zum Nachdenken parts, where it shows the I can statements, and think about what exactly it's saying here. Can I do this? And better than just can I do this, can I do it easily? Can I do it in different ways? The more ways you can do it, the more easily you can do it, that means that you are more ready, that you have this down. And when you can say, yes, I have all of these down, I can do them easily, and maybe that even involves going back, looking at another bit of the unit again, reviewing a little bit, then I would say, then go on to the quiz and take that, because that way you're prepared. The quiz is going to be easier, you're going to be having better grades on it. So that's sort of my encouragement to you. And this maybe is not how you've been thinking about this class before, or maybe it's not a way you've really thought about any of your classes before, because when you're in school, you sit down, you do whatever the teacher says. Here we don't have that, and we don't know exactly how much you've learned in any one day, or if you were doing stuff on one day, maybe you did more, maybe you did less, maybe you had more time to work on it, maybe you're on a roll and worked 2 hours at home, and so you don't need to go back in the middle of reviewing stuff. But what I guess I'm trying to say is that now you need to think about, how are you structuring your class? How are you getting your warm-ups in review? Or at the end of the unit, just like most classes in person, they have a day of review before the test. How are you doing that? How are you assessing to see if you know everything, if you're ready to move on to the quiz? Because part of the online learning is you're a little bit more independent, so now you have to handle that. Alright, those are my thoughts. Let me know if you have any questions, or I could help you make a sort of daily schedule to help plan out your day if you think that helps. I just want to help make sure you do awesome.